What's up, guys? I'm gonna do this live. We're just gonna do a live walkthrough.
Where are we?
We're at Classic Crew Cabs. We're at our shop. We've got a lot of stuff going on. It's gonna be noisy, it's gonna be loud, but that's kind of what a shop, you know, the shop noise is. So we're gonna try and go, we're gonna try and hear me, we're gonna go look at some cool trucks, we're gonna meet some cool people. And then over time, we're gonna follow the progress of those trucks. We're gonna talk about some of the cool things we're doing aside from these live shoots. You're gonna be talking about these trucks, the story of the trucks, where they came from, where they're going, all sorts of fun things. So let's go for a walk. This is my daily driver. She's a 1971 F250 crew cab, one of 664 built, and I call her my beater with a heater. But she's amazing. I put probably 35,000 miles on it over the course of time, but I love this truck. I basically use this truck for everything. So we'll go hunting, fishing, camping. I've towed with this truck quite a bit. I just use it as a truck's supposed to be used. And I think that's what these trucks are supposed to be. They're supposed to be back on the road and being used. So that's my vision here. My vision is to save them all. No truck left behind, all trucks' lives matter, whatever you want to say. So let's go take a look at some of our projects, come on. So, yeah.
These are just beater trucks, they're not worth anything, right?
Yeah, this one's just a beater truck. Only 664 ever made, totally worth nothing. No, you know, I could go buy myself a brand new F250, dually, whatever, diesel for the price these trucks cost, but I prefer driving the old steel. It just is a lifestyle to me. I like getting in them. I like smelling the fuel. I like having carburetor problems on cold mornings. It's just in my blood. I love it. It's a lifestyle. I love putting my kids in the back of this thing and smelling the fumes. You know, call it a safety item, I don't know. We say safety third here at Classic Crew Cabs, but I just use lap belts in there. My kids just sit in the back, and I've got 310. They sit in the back of the lap belts, and we just cruise around, man. They're a little rare, yeah. So like I said, only 664 made in 71. Just to bring it into perspective, we'll talk just a quick minute about production numbers. So from 1967 to 1972 was the bump side era. So you can see this pronounced bump, right? The other ones were a dent. You'll see a dent. It's very creatively coined, bump side and dent side, right? So from 1967 to 1972, on the bump side crew cabs, there was roughly 2,500 four-wheel drive made through that entire time period, right? If you want to compare production vehicle statistics, if you look at Shelby Mustangs, now I'm not comparing these to a Shelby for all you guys, oh, these aren't Shelby. I know they're not a Shelby Mustang, okay? They're a truck and they're meant to be used. Actually, I think they're better than the Shelby. I own 2 Shelby Mustangs. I don't drive them at all, one iota. They sit in the shop, they collect dust. I barely start them. Why? They're uncomfortable, they're small, I can't put my families in them. They're loud, stinky, gassy, noisy, and I'm afraid to drive it, honestly. This is a truck, it's supposed to be used. If I scratch it, I don't really care. Now let's get back to production numbers, okay? From 1965 to 1970, they produced Shelby GT350s and GT500s. There's just over 13,000 produced in that same time period, you know, 5 or 6 year stretch. So if we look at the four-wheel drive crew cabs in that a similar 5 or 6 year stretch, there's just about 2,500 made versus 13,000 Shelbys. I'm just saying, these are a little rare.
I didn't know this was gonna be so educational.
It's very educational. That's what we do here at Classic Crew Cabs. We educate people. All right.
Will we see more trucks or?
Let's go on a walk. Let's go on a walk. Sorry, I get passionate about the production number side of things because I think statistics matter, right? You know, if a collector is going to buy something that nobody else has, this is it. Or, you know, your Boss 429s or something like that. But these are probably one of the lowest production vehicles ever made. All right. So we don't typically do single cabs here at Classic Crew Cabs. I call them parts trucks, but this one had my heart. It's a 1967 single cab. They call it a high boy. It's a factory four-wheel drive. 1 year only options on some of this stuff, so I kind of geek out on the 1 year options, but yeah, bought it, probably shouldn't have, and did a brand new motor on it, new transmission, and then we repainted it in its original Rangoon red. We did not do a frame-off restoration on this thing. We just made it really cool to drive. So we're not quite done with it, but back in the reassembly phase, which is really good from a restoration perspective to get back to the reassembly phase from the disassembly phase. It's kind of like you're in your you're in your trim and your molding and your paint when you're building a house, right? We're almost there on this thing.
So
Runs and drives.
How long with this until this is ready?
You know, depending on how much labor I could put at it, this could be done in a couple days, but I've got, 18 other builds going on, so we've got to stretch the labor thin.
I was gonna ask you, like, how many builds at one time?
Yeah, we've got about 9 builds going right now. So it's this is the only single cab build that we have going, but we've got that 76 F250. Let's go check it out. So this particular truck, like I said before, is a 1976 F250 crew cab. It is a factory 2-wheel drive crew cab, but it's all original paint. This thing sat in the Montana desert. I think it was last registered from the paperwork that I found in the glove box. It was last registered in 83, so 76 to 83. And then it sat in a desert. I don't know why. I don't know if the engine locked up. I don't know the history behind it, but we ended up fortunate enough to buy it. And I put it on the old Instagrams, and a customer saw it. A customer I had talked to previously, and we've been trying to find the right truck for him. He called me and said, hey, I want that truck, but here's what I want. I want you to do a Super Duty conversion to it, and I want to put a 12-valve Cummins in it. And he loved it because it was all original paint. It had amazing patina. And so what we're gonna do is we basically stripped it down. We're gonna pull the cab and the bed off, pressure wash the frame, get it all nice and prepped, paint it. But we've done the front Super Duty conversion already. The rear we're gonna leave the factory Dana 60. We're gonna sag it like this, just like a lowrider.
No,
I'm just kidding. We're not gonna do that. We're prepping the Super Duty axle to get it installed, and so it'll level out and it'll look really nice. Just got dummy wheels on it for now, but follow me around here.
I want to see like how you guys did the whole front end.
Yeah, so we basically stripped the whole interior down, and we're gonna build it back up to basically day one interior. So how it would have left the factory. But underneath this thing is gonna be modern Super Duty axles with a 12-valve Cummins, a 5-speed transmission, and I believe I'm gonna go with the new Process 205 T-case. Not sure yet on that, but this thing is gonna look amazing when it's done. It's gonna function amazing too. So a guy's gonna be able to get in here, start it up, drive, go do road trips, go do whatever, use it in his lifestyle, whatever that entails. So here at Classic Crew Cabs, my flaw, my wife says I don't have any, but my flaw would be that I go the extra mile, even when I don't have to. So I teach my boys every morning we walk into school, and I say, what are call your men? They say, men of integrity. I say, what does that mean? And they say, telling the truth when we speak. And I say, what does it mean also? It says, doing the right thing even when no one's looking. So that's my fatal flaw in these trucks. We could have just like slapped this axle in here, but in my right mind, it just wouldn't have been good enough. So we spent probably 2 weeks tearing this whole front axle down, taking it down to bare metal, redoing every seal, every bearing, everything in this thing, totally above and beyond what the customer expected. But for safety reasons, for my name's on the line, all that stuff, we went ahead and did that. So we probably put another $2,000 in parts into this axle, plus the time and labor to build it. But you know what? It's done right, and it's gonna stand the test of time. And for that, I'm happy. So yeah, this project, if I can dedicate the labor to it, has another couple months left. But we've got 7 or 8 projects going on. But this thing's gonna be super amazing when it's done. Basically, everything's gonna be rebuilt on it except the paint. Which the paint, I mean, come on, how can you argue with that? It's like perfection.
The paint, the patina?
The patina, look at this. Look at this, this is like sun-kissed perfection. You can't buy this.
Are you gonna keep that, what do you call that, rust red?
It's called patina, Josh. It's called patina, okay? That's what it's called. It's a new thing. The young kids are going crazy over it. So it's got like a scrape going down the side or a dent. We're gonna leave that. I'll show you over here, come here. So we took about 2 or 3 minutes with just basic polishing compound and all the Bondo dust in the air from the other projects. But you can look just by hand in a microfiber cloth, and you can see the shine that paint's gonna bring out. This door has not been touched. This door has been minorly touched. So you can kind of envision what this truck's gonna look like when it's done. So anyways, yeah, this truck's gonna be awesome. The cool thing about it is it's a 1976, and the blue color, now the color escapes me, but they Ford made what's called a bicentennial truck in 1976 to celebrate the bicentennial. And it was this same color. Bahama blue is the color. So the fact that this is all original Bahama blue paint truck out of 1976 is super amazing. They didn't make any bicentennial trucks in crew cabs, unfortunately, but I did have one guy want to turn it into a bicentennial truck, but then my current client was in line before him to buy the truck, so I didn't give it to him. Sorry, Solomon. But anyways, yeah, let's go take a look at some other projects. So this is, we've got 2 frame offs going. We've got one there, and these are bump side crew cabs. So that frame off is a 1970 4-wheel drive crew cab. And when we do frame offs, I'll walk you through a couple things, but when we do frame offs, like every nut and bolt's getting taken off. And then we take it outside, we've got a wet blaster that we media blast it down to metal so we can expose all of the different rust areas or all of the different things that need to get addressed. So in this case, this cab was pretty darn clean, but then when we blasted it, you can see, where was it? You can see a little bit of rust coming through on the doors, things like that. You probably wouldn't see that if we were just to sand it or DA it by hand. So blasting it really, first of all, creates an atrocious mess, but second of all, gets down to the bare metal and expose all the issues that we really need to address before building it back up. So this one's a frame off, the frame's over there, and then we have a second frame off 72, which is the same color as the 76 Bahama blue.
I'm just looking around at this gray one that I want to own at some point.
You want to own that? You want to know what it is?
It's just awesome.
What do you like about it?
This looks badass. Maybe the wheels are the big difference.
It's probably the wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody likes this color, or they like the combination.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this one's probably going to get a repaint. So this truck is, if you grab a picture or whatever, what do you call that? A video? A reel? I don't know.
A video? Yeah.
Film that. It's a 68 crew. So 68, here's more history lesson for y'all. 68 was the first year that Ford made a factory 4-wheel drive crew cab. It is rumored that 1 or 2 67 were built, but there's a gentleman by the name of Kevin Marty who bought all of Ford's records, right, and has all of the manufacturing data. Even Kevin Marty says there was no 1967 4-wheel drive crew cabs ever produced. The production numbers in 67 were so low, maybe about 1,500, 1,800 total crew cabs in the 2-wheel drive versions. And there hasn't been a single 4-wheel drive one to be found. Now there are a couple that are rumored to be around. I've seen pictures of them. I don't believe they're factory 4-wheel drive crew cabs, but that's neither here nor there.
What will this one go for, like realistically, if someone's wondering?
Honestly, no idea. There's only 119 68s built, and there's only a handful of them circulating. The last one that sold on Bring a Trailer for, the high 70s or something like that. But from what I heard, it needed essentially a lot of restoration work after the buyer got it. So no idea what a quality restored, frame off restored 68 would go for. The hard part in this market is there's not a lot of good data to go off of because the trucks are so rare. There really hasn't been good public data. All of the high-end builds typically sell without going to auction. They typically, like I've got people wanting these builds and they'll never see the light of day as far as an auction goes. So it's just basically what we've got into them and what someone's willing to pay. So yeah, you want to walk and see the business end of the deal down here. This is a random exercise machine that someone left here. Actually, I have no idea what that is. It's a body thing that our buddy next door who works at the body shop leaves random stuff around. So this is our 1978 F250. This is Bryson. Say hi, Bryson.
Hi.
What do you got going on this thing?
We've just been sanding it for the past couple days.
You gotta talk into my microphone. Can you talk?
Shoot.
Yeah,
We've been sanding it.
a little closer.
We've been sanding it for the past couple days.
I'm just kidding. You don't have to get that close. I just wanted to see his comfort level, man. You got really up there. That's great, up in there.
Just say no, Bryson.
Just say no, yeah. So this truck came to me from California, actually, and it was supposed to be like a rust-free, dent-free, anyways. Got to repainting it, and we realized quickly it was not rust-free or dent-free. We actually have to build pretty much a whole new bed for it. The guy that owned it was had an excavating company, and it looks like he just rammed his excavator into the side of the the bed, and then there was like 3 inches of Bondo on it. So we here at Classic Crew Cabs, we just say no to Bondo work as far as that goes. We like to do everything in metal, or as much as we can in metal work, because that's just the right way to do things.
Where'd you find this guy?
I picked him up on the corner a couple days ago.
Yep.
Yeah. He's so like he doesn't even like cut his own hair or bathe or something. I don't know.
Bryson, how old are you?
I'm 19.
Can kids work legally at 19?
We hire him as early as 12. I'm just kidding.
Their hands are small.
My kids come in here and they work. I mean, their attention span's pretty low, but I've had my kids in here working on trucks, so it's been kind of fun. And then this is his friend, Dylan. So say hi, Dylan.
What's up, Dylan?
Do you want to come talk into my mic as well, like really close?
I did that last week.
Dylan's like,
Perfect.
and who's the kid in the shop? Is Dylan the kid?
How old are you, Dylan? 18? So you're the kid in the shop, for sure.
That's I'm the young kid.
Yeah. I will say though, you know, I'll speak into these guys a little bit, or about these guys for a little bit. In all seriousness, like most kids their age don't know how to work.
Yeah.
They don't know anything about anything. These two kids, they work, man. And it's good to find teenagers that actually have the desire to work, the desire to learn. They show up on time mostly. They stay late, but they get stuff done, right? Like that's like a rarity in this world. So ladies, right here, these guys, hard workers, huh? I'm just saying. And they got the long hair. They're kind of dreamy. I don't know.
Dreamy.
What do you guys think? Can you guys do this?
I think so. Dylan's good at that one.
Can you do it? Yeah, yeah. Give us a fluff.
You know that sanding powder makes it really fluffy, and then you blow your hair out.
That's right. Yeah, I see him at the end of the day when they're blowing the Bondo dust off him. He goes like this and with his hair, and it's like,
It's an afro.
yeah. If you do it in slow mo, it'd look really good. We'll have to capture that at some point. But we're going back on this truck. Everything's gonna get repainted. I wasn't gonna do a color change, but we're doing that. It's gonna be a pretty awesome truck when we're said and done. But again, it's not a frame off, just because everything runs and drives and it's great and it doesn't need a frame off, so we're not doing that. So hey, thanks guys. We'll see you later. So some people are asking, Josh is asking actually, why do we do frame offs on some stuff and I call them a frame on other stuff? So we'll leave the cab on the frame. And I think it just dictates the project, right? I think there's a lot of people that have a particular budget. Not everybody has the budget of a frame off restored truck, right? The price is obviously higher for something like that. A lot of people just want a really amazing low production and a quality build truck. And so we try and fit both people's budgets into our builds. And so we'll try and turn, you know, half of our product will be frame offs, half of them will be nice frame ons. Or some of it will be like the patina build, that 76 patina build, where we don't even have to touch the paint, but it's gonna be kind of a baller on a budget project. That thing's gonna be amazing for the price. So we'll come over here and we'll check out another frame on restoration. This is a 74 F250 crew cab. And these are, I was talking about earlier, the dent side versus bump sides, and a lot of people actually have that question. I'll be on like the user groups and whatnot, on the interwebs and the Facebooks and the Mark Zuckerbergs or whatever. And people are like, what's a dent side? What's a bump side? Well, come here, I'll show you. Okay, so I showed you the bump side. It had a bump, like it had an Audi, you know, like a belly button run down the side, Audi. This one's got an innie, so it's called a dent side. So this is 73 through 79. And this is Josh. I don't know if he has an innie or an Audi. I haven't looked. But this is called a dent side. So Josh has been doing the body work on this thing for probably 6 to 8 weeks. And getting it all nice and flat and straight. How long have you been working on this thing for?
Say a month.
A month? Yeah. Longer than that, I thought. But you've been jumping around from project to project. We're gonna get you all mic'd up just so we can hear your voice.
Right now I'm getting ready to jam the inside of the cab.
What does that mean?
So basically I'm going to seal everything that's in primer and then paint match the rest of the whole interior.
So this one's going back to a factory paint, which is this, I think it's called lime gold green or something like that. This was a factory two-tone truck, so it's gonna be this ugly grandma's green on the outside with a Wimbledon white top. It's gonna look hot. And the interior in it is going back to, it's like a green paisley, looks kind of like your grandma's couch. It's gonna be a quintessential truck from the 70s. It's gonna be badass. This one's got a fuel-injected 460 with an overdrive automatic transmission behind it, all disc brakes. It's gonna be an amazing build. So Josh is the man on this truck. He's taken this thing from looking horrible to painstakingly working all the metal and working everything, and it's gonna be an amazing build. So hopefully within the next few weeks, we'll get some color on this thing and see what it looks like.
I plan within a week should be finished.
That'd be awesome. So we'll check back in on this build, and this thing will be for sale at some point for some undisclosed amount. No idea. We'll see. We'll see how much time Josh has in it. His time's valuable. So, but that's that. We can go over here to, actually we can't go this. Oh, let's check out this. This is the special build that I want to show you guys. So in case you guys are wondering this, my kids call this the jump house. It's not a jump house. It's actually just an inflatable paint booth. It's what we do to do smaller stuff, but we're actually building a regular paint booth because it's gonna be way better. So yeah, hopefully we'll have that done by the time he's ready for paint. It's exciting times here at Classic Crew Cabs. There's no dull moments. So this is my favorite build. This is a 2023 Coleman KT196. So I found this for my kids, but it needs some work. So my boys are gonna come in here and they're gonna fix it, and then they can ride it around. Found it on a deal, baller on a budget price, from a local guy, and I just couldn't pass it up. So we're not gonna paint it, we're gonna run it patina. Just make sure the kids enjoy it and have fun. So this is the frame, the frame from the 70 crew cab over there that's sitting on the ground. We just still need to strip this thing down and go for it, but it was supposed to be a frame-on restoration, and it came to me running and driving. I love this. Running and driving by the internet standards are not the Classic Crew Cab standards. So I got into it, I did the brakes, front and rear, started to get into things, went to address an issue in the engine, started pulling it apart. The engine was completely shot, had cracked rings, all the bearings were coming delaminated. So ended up pulling the engine, pulling the transmission, sending those out to get machined and rebuilt. We're gonna pull the transfer case and basically strip it down and do a frame off restoration at this point. Just because, and then some of the metal work from the previous owner that they did, which I love this, it's fantastic, wasn't done right, so we had to go back and redo it. It's hard when you buy something running and driving and oh, the floors have been redone and it's just done wrong and it takes twice as long. I'll come show you some work that some other guys have done. Come this way, guys. Oh, well, we'll take a quick tour. So this is kind of like a shop tour, like the first episode, right? Like, you know, the shop tour. Over here is kind of the mechanical side of things. We've got our metal brakes, we've got our bead rollers, we've got stuff that we use. We've got our hot shot parts washer and our bead blaster, and then our presses and all of the fun business end of the deal. So we try to kind of do everything in-house. There's a few things that we can't do, right? I can't machine an engine block, but I send that out to our guys, have them machine it, and we'll do the final assembly. We can't charge AC systems yet. We're working on that, but there's very few things that we can't do in-house. I won't rebuild a transmission or a transfer case in-house. It's too cheap to send them out to my guy at Midwestern Transmission and have him do it. But everything else we try to do it in-house so we can control the quality. I've noticed time and time again, you send these trucks out to somebody to do something, they're not used to working on it. They're used to working on Honda Accords. They're used to working at whatever. I'm not saying that other shops are bad, but they just are not focused and specialized on these trucks. And these trucks have different quirks. And so we've learned those quirks, and we like to do everything to the quality standards that, you know, will stand the test of time for these trucks. So let's go look at some of the metal work that some other guys have done. I've bought in these trucks and, you know, oh man, the metal work's all good. I did the floor pans, or I did, come on, we'll check a little bit. My first truck, my first four-wheel drive crew cab, let's call it, I bought out of Alturas, California, and it was a 71 boxwood green, which is kind of this ugly green right here. But sent it to, I live down in the state whose name we shall not mention. I'll just call it communism for now. We lived down in communism for a little while, and I sent it to a body shop in communism and told them what I wanted. Wanted them to fix all the rust. I wanted them to paint it. I wanted to be able to resell this truck and have confidence that it would go. And we set a budget. So they get done with it, and immediately I noticed a bunch of issues with the paint. I had to send it back for repaint. They did do a repaint, and it looked better. Fast forward about 7 years, now we have a shop up and running, and I want to start driving this truck. I'm a bad truck owner. I didn't drive it all the time, so it sat for a long time. And we get into it. Here's the metal work this shop did. So They just took, we'll show you the corner of where this is, but they just took metal and just laid it upon, actually it went that way, just put metal upon metal, hammered it in, and then welded it together and just covered it in paint. That's what they did. These are the cab mounts for the truck, so it sits on the front to the firewall and attaches to the cab, or to the frame. They told me that all of it was rust-free and good to go.
Let me get a shot.
Yeah, it's fantastic, right? I mean, it's just the structural integrity of your car, of your like cab to your frame, whatever. So you can see the rust kind of coming through here. They're like, oh yeah, it's good to go. Here's the other cab mount. There you go, really good to go there too. So we replaced both cab mounts. Here's a bunch of sheet metal that was underneath the truck all scabbed together. That's some good stuff, right? That's quality fabrication. So there's a floorboard. This is one of my favorites. So this is one of the structures underneath the truck, and this is how it looked from the outside. So I was like, they did a crappy welding job, whatever. But we got into it. That's what they did. They literally just welded over garbage steel, and there's still rust coming out of it. So
You're saying that's not a good job?
this is an atrocious job, yeah. But time and time again, I see it. You know, I see where, oh, this was my favorite. So this is like kind of the sill plate of the truck where you get in and you step up like a, I don't know, step well, whatever. I can show you where this is on the truck if viewers care. They probably don't. But this rust hole existed. And what they did is they literally wiped seam sealer over it and painted it.
Is that bad?
I mean, if you want a product to stand the test of time, yeah, that's really bad. That's really bad. Seam sealer over rust, that'll go. So it's sad to see kind of what other shops will do, or what, I mean, there are quality shops up there, don't get me wrong, but it is sad to see. Here's a floor pan replacement, just literally welded over garbage rust. They didn't even bother to cut the rust out. I mean, you can see their welds weren't even taking. So there are quality shops out there, guys, don't get me wrong, there are. But if you have a truck or a crew cab or a classic car and you're looking to get it restored, interview them. Go get references, right? Don't just send them to the shop. The two things I hear the most are, I gave my car or my truck to this restoration shop and 7 years later they haven't started on it yet. I paid them a heap of money, okay? Who hasn't heard that story? And the second is this crap. They cut so many corners to make things cheap on their end so they can make the most money, but you're not gonna get a product that stands the test of time. All that metal came out of a truck that was, quote, done. And it took us 2 additional weeks to do those. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on. Let's go meet Chad here. I don't know, what do you have Chad's name in the prompter?
What's that?
That's Chad. Oh, are you on mic already? Good.
I think Chad's name says like unbreakable.
Unbreakable? He does walk with a pimp limp, so I don't know.
It does mean warlike.
Warlike?
That's what the name means, Chad?
That's what I was told.
Nice.
What's Chad do? What do you do, Chad?
Everything.
That's another way for saying, not much, I don't know, I just limp around, I do nothing. So this was the bed off of that white truck that the 2 kids were working on that was supposed to be rust-free. Actually, it kind of was rust-free. It was just like beat to hell.
Yeah, it was rust-free. It's just that they had like 1/2 inch of Bondo all down the sides of the bed sides, and it just wasn't worth us to take it all off and put it back.
It's crazy.
Fix it all.
It's crazy that another body shop put that much Bondo on it and painted over that.
And it was a lot of Bondo.
Yeah.
I have good footage of Chad grinding welds with just the sparks blowing up in his face, but I don't think you can feel it.
I don't feel much of anything.
I have a strict policy of safety first here at Classic Crew Cabs, but the guys I work with, they clearly put it in the distance, so now we've adopted the safety third, hoping that they'll like at least remember it when they're working on stuff.
I remember to wear my safety glasses when I'm grinding.
That's a good step.
Every time?
It's a step in the
I had
right
2
direction.
metal shavings in my eye, the first week I was here?
Yeah, he comes on board and he goes, yeah, I know how to do all this stuff. And then he's in the hospital twice for metal shavings. I'm thinking, I don't know. Does he know how to?
But I did have my safety glasses on.
That's true. They were just very small safety glasses. So we live in the world of short beds, right? Very seldom do we get, that's actually a short bed too. Very seldom do we do a long bed. And the problem with short beds are they made almost none of them, right? It doesn't matter if it's the bump side era or the dent side era. The only trucks they made short beds on were F100 or F150 short bed trucks, which there wasn't that many F100 or F150 short beds to begin with, or crew cabs that were F250 were all short bed, whether or not they were 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. So finding a factory short bed that's in good condition is like finding hen's teeth. Literally, they're unicorns, they don't exist. And so what we've gotten good at is building our own beds from, unfortunately it's the China metal, but actually it's Taiwanese metal, I believe.
Right.
But they do all right if they're assembled properly. They come to us essentially ready to bolt together, which is really weird. So Chad, we have a couple other fabricators here, but Chad, we'll go through and you walk them through the process a little bit.
Well, the worst part's cutting off the bed sides and getting all the spot welds out.
Yeah, tell us about that.
But you gotta cut inside and then go back and grind all that so you can see the spot welds, and then you gotta drill them all out and take that other flange off because you gotta re-weld a new flange on with the new piece.
So the new beds are good as far as the shape goes.
But you can see the flange in here, and we pop holes in it because those are going to be our spot welds. But we have to take all that off when we take the old bed side off.
So when we do it, Chad, we go through and we'll want to build the bed as close to how the factory built the bed, right?
Yeah, we make sure it's all square and everything is the same measurements front to back. And then this particular one, we had to take the second gas door out of the old bed and weld it into this side because the short beds don't come with 2 gas doors.
So here's a finished one that he did. And this one's all seam sealed, ready to go for the truck that Josh is about to paint. And you could see the meticulous care that he's taken to build these things.
Actually, Luca made this one.
Luca made this bed. But we go through, and where the spot weld was, that's where we want the spot weld to be, right? The other caveat, and now we're getting really in the weeds on this educational side of things, to these short beds, is the dent sides had a particular bed for the 4-wheel drives and a particular bed for the 2-wheel drives. The reproduction bed floors, they don't make for 4-wheel drives. So Luca had to go through and basically custom make all the braces underneath this bed to mount on a 4-wheel drive frame. And that's what we're gonna have to do for basically every 4-wheel drive dent side short bed that we make. So
it's because the standoffs are different for the frames.
Yep, the frame does different things. So, but we go through and you can look on the back here, the header, all of the welds are gone through and they're just basically, like I said, done how the factory is gonna do them. Pinch it together and we spot weld it in and grind it down, and so it's going to look as factory as we can for a reproduction bed.
I built this bed. This was the second one I built, but it's for a bump side. But there's a lot more pieces to put this together. There's only 4 pieces to put these beds together, but there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces for that. But those beds, you got to weld up all the bolt holes because the bolt holes are huge.
How many trucks in process right now?
We have at least 7 or 8. 1, 2, my green one outside, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7?
7.
Yeah, 7 or 8. I think I might miscounting, but yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I want to get to the point where we're turning
7.
2 trucks a month. We're turning out 2 trucks a month to customers. So one could be a frame off, or both could be frame offs, or both could be frame ons, but 2 trucks a month are going to be processed. So we've been working here, I don't know, how long have you been working here? A year? Has it been a year?
Since August.
Okay, so getting up there. He was really the first hire, I'd say. We had a kid before that, but he was just kind of a kid, sweeping floors and whatnot. But we moved into this facility about a year and a half ago, and then I've slowly been building it out and then building up the labor force. So Chad was kind of the first guy, so we haven't had labor for too terribly long. And in that process of about 9 or 10 months, we have 7 projects going, probably 2 or 3 nearing completion, and the other 2 or 3 or 4, within the next couple months. So as long as we keep that pipeline going, I think we'll be able to achieve that and add a couple more guys for labor. So if any skilled guys out there looking to work in an amazing shop, ping me on the old Instagrams or websites or whatever you guys do. I don't know, what do they do out there? The interwebs. I don't know. We don't have, what all the kids do, the tiki-talks? We don't do the tiki-talks.
And then what about, look, we're going to do this weekly. People are going to see the progress.
I hope so. Sometimes you don't see a ton of progress, but there's a lot being done. But we're going to show you the not ton of progress. The other things we're going to do too is though we have a few like amazing builds that are going to come up that we're going to do for fun. And so hopefully we'll be able to start some of those and track those, and those will go a little bit quicker because they're not going to be a full-blown frame-off restoration, at least in my mind.
What kind of builds?
So you guys got to keep this top secret though. If I tell you about it, you can't go blabbing it all over the internet, okay? We're going to do a redneck battle truck build. So we're going to take, I can show you the truck out back if you guys want to go out to the boneyard, but do you want to see it?
Yeah.
Let's just go see it. All right. Thanks, Chad.
You're up.
Continue your grinding, sir.
Okay, do you want me to?
Yeah, you can take the mic off, sure, I don't know. Or just hear him grinding in the background.
Don't want to hear grinding.
Okay, so we're gonna go outside to the boneyard. We have quite a few project crew cabs out there. So again, you guys online, don't share this with anybody. All right, this is just for this, just for now. It's top secret. So here we are outside. We're gonna walk around the corner and we're gonna go to well, there's one or two trucks that I wanna do for the a redneck battle truck. So let's carry on. You got it all dialed in, cameraman?
Just dialing.
Just dialing, okay. Did you get your guys cleaner for that?
Yeah, we got it.
Okay, okay. So this is an option for the redneck battle truck. Maybe we can let the viewers decide like which truck to go with. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think? No? Maybe? So this is a 71 four-wheel drive crew cab. Again, one of 664 made. But the guy that I bought it from put a 67 cab on it. I don't know what happened to the original cab. So there's a 67 cab. And if we go back through the production numbers of 67 crew cabs were only made in two body styles, or two models. The F250, which was a short bed, and the F350, which was a long bed. No four-wheel drives, both two-wheel drives. And there was only about, I could go back and look at the production data, but like 600 or 700 of each body style made, or each model number made. So there's very low production in 67. So to have a fairly rust-free 67 cab is pretty amazing. And this one's got a 6.9 IDI diesel underneath it with a ZF5 5-speed. And then it's got a flatbed. My vision for the redneck battle truck is to have a diesel that could basically absorb or run on any type of oil. Think EMP proof, think doomsday truck, think redneck battle truck, right? I want to be able to fit 6 of my buddies in the back. I want the side, my vision would be to like run a utility bed on the back so you can have the utility toolboxes, but instead of tools, it's gonna be guns, of course, and like rations and like gas masks and stuff like that. I don't know, things you need in like a doomsday situation. And then in the front is gonna be a turret to mount a 50 cal. So we got to partner with a local gun company here. I don't know who would do that, yeah. What do you think?
I love it. I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll put up an image of what that might look like.
we could do a 3D rendering. So, and then
Trucks out here.
there's a few trucks. Yeah, we got a few projects to do. We got about 10 years worth of projects, but that's okay. I like them. So the other version, or the other choice for the redneck battle trucks down here. But guys, there's stories for each one of these trucks that I could bore you to death with and tell you. And maybe one episode we'll just go through and just run it for like hours. I don't know, I'll tell you. And then you could like sit your children down like you're reading them a bedtime story, and it'd be like Tales of the Trucks from Classic Crew Cabs. So this is another one that I want to do, or that is a candidate for redneck battle truck. This was a gift from my brother-in-law. He knows the way to my heart, I marry his sister and then he gives me a truck. I mean, it's just been constant gift after gift from that family. But this one is a 78 or 79 F350. It's a two-wheel drive. Nothing particularly special about it other than the fact that it's a crew cab. But he started to do a frame-off restoration from a shop in California. Decided to stop that process and just let me finish the process, which I'm very thankful he did that. So my vision for this truck, if it were to be the redneck battle truck, would be to do the Super Duty conversion like we're doing on the Blue 76, and then drop a 12 valve Cummins in it. Again, a diesel that can run on pretty much anything, right? If you're thinking doomsday, you're thinking battle truck, redneck battle truck, you're gonna have to be scavenging for fuel, right? You can run some of these diesels off of just the garbage fuel. I'm not gonna say it's gonna run great, but you can run it, it'll run. And then again, put a flatbed or a utility bed on the back and then just deck it out. So that'd be cool. I want to, after we get done with the Redneck Battle Truck, I want to take like, I got a crew cab. I know it's kind of sacrilegious, but I've got a 1970 crew cab that I pulled out of the weeds in Washington State. I got given to me for free. I was like, free crew cab? Yeah, hell yeah, I'll drive 8 hours to go get it. Well, I realized quickly why it was for free. There's like just rust out, Swiss cheese everywhere. So it'd be fun to like get that crew cab up at the ranch and take our 50 cal and just like
Shoot it up.
yeah.
Oh, that'd be
I know it's kind of sacrilegious. I know you're shooting up a crew cab.
But-
Trust me, the crew cab's it's not even a crew cab anymore.
But if anybody's gonna sacrifice it, it's the guy that
We
loves them the
would
most.
take one for the team. It's either that or I'm going to build a fountain out of it for the whole city of Eagle to look at out front. I don't know, but which would be really cool too. So yeah, that's kind of one of the projects that I want to do. You guys can track along with, but we've just got so many cool builds here and so many builds in the pipeline, right? Once these are finished, clearly we've got enough builds to keep us busy. This truck right here, kind of fun story. I've got a picture of it I could share with you guys. When I bought it, it had a tree, like a 12-inch circumference tree growing through here. So it sat wherever it sat for who knows how long, but a long time.
It had a tree in the engine block.
It had a tree instead of an engine block, yeah.
That's kind of cool.
It was kind of wild. And I have pictures of it. They had to like lift the whole thing up with the excavator. Luckily the roof didn't get damaged in the process. So yeah,
I like the color. That's a cool color.
it's kind of ugly,
The
isn't it?
patina, Jason.
The patina. Yeah, here's some good patina right here. Some good patina here on the inner fenders right there. Yeah, typical area these things rust out in the inner fenders. But yeah, that's kind of it. I don't know. You guys want to go check back in and see what's going on in the shop? Josh, cameraman, do you have any questions? I mean, am I not answering things that you want to know?
No, I think these are awesome. Again,
Yeah.
so many out here.
There are a lot.
Show folks.
There are a lot. We've got, my specialty, or what I like, where my heart's drawn, is the factory four-wheel drive bump side. So 67 to 72, factory four-wheel drive bump side, really 68 to 72. And that's primarily what I like building, just because they're rare, they're cool, you don't see them every day. I can't tell you how many times I go and I'm driving it to a car show or a swap meet or just in regular driving and people stop me and just say, hey, what is that? I've never seen a crew cab. What year is that? Did you build it yourself? Is that factory? It's like, no, I have to educate them. I was like, wow, I never knew they existed. That's how rare they are. They're kind of rare. So let's continue walking. These are our parts department here at Classic Crew Cabs underneath the shelter, right? So we don't get rust in them. Actually, we're kind of a dry climate here in Idaho, which is amazing. But want to check out an old logging truck?
Yeah.
From this is a 1971. I keep saying like 1971. There's only 664 built. Here's 10 of them. They are rare. Trust me, they're really rare. Okay. I just happen to have been collecting for 10 years, and these are future projects. So this is a 1971. I believe it's all original paint. It's beyond the patina stage though. But this was a logging truck up in British Columbia, I think. And it just is cool. The history of these trucks is really fun. They built these things just to haul a crew to a job site. So they were called six-man crew or crummies. And they were just driven hard. A lot of them didn't survive because of this. So I've heard story after story about crew cabs like this in this condition, because most guys would look at this and be like, what's there to fix, right? Well, what's there to fix is this one of 664 built. I'm gonna go ahead and repair it and replace it. They just saw the junkyards. They saw the crushers. So back in the 80s and early 90s, when these things weren't even popular because nobody even really knew about them, they just got lined up and crushed. So being able to find one like this is pretty neat. She's got some rust. She's got some problems. I was told it ran and drove. Haven't tried that out. Maybe we should. But it's definitely a candidate for a good restoration. It's a pretty hot color too. This Swiss Aqua is amazing.
What can a guy do with the front of this thing?
You can do, that's actually a really good bumper to put on the Redneck Battle Truck. That'd be freaking awesome. It's got a Ramsey PTO winch on there. Who knows how many pounds that thing is, but that would be pretty cool, man.
Could a guy stand on it?
A guy could do, have you seen, what's that movie, The Titanic? A guy could do that if he really wanted to. I've been known to do it, but it's gotta be stormy out. I've gotta be stormy. So we've got We got a 69 four-wheel drive crew cab sitting over there. Bought that from a guy who put a Cummins in it, so I'll probably rip that out and do something factory. I like doing on the rare crew cabs, I like going back to factory. Call me crazy, but I don't like chunking them up and doing all this resto mod stuff on them. I like doing factory stuff, but that's just me. Then I got a parts truck over there. You guys want to do some redneck math?
Yeah.
Truck math?
Yeah.
Okay. It's truck math. It's like how women do this. They're like, well, I saved 40 bucks because I bought something on sale and it was only 100. I'm like, so you spent 100 bucks. No, I saved 40. You don't get the math? Like it was normally 100. Okay, so that's the redneck math. But for guys, right? So this parts truck right here, I went over to Twin Falls last weekend and picked this parts truck up for 1,200 bucks. And let me tell you how if I didn't buy that truck, I'd lose $5,000. That's the ticket right there. So it doesn't look like much, right? It's not. Check it out though. We've got a 1.5 year only front axle. This is the desired axle. It's got these locking hubs, these big red Ford locking hubs that were the proper locking hubs for the early stuff. Like, see that? Can you zoom in on that Swiss Aqua one over there? See, it's got the heavy duty front end and you can see that red hub in there. I don't know if you're zoomed in enough. Yeah, it's really small. Anyways, those are all drum brakes. This is the proper Dana 44 low pinion, 3,500 pound axle, but in disc brake, and they only made it for about 18 months. So this axle right here, good luck finding another one. It's also got all the proper Highboy engine parts, all the proper Highboy cross members. It's got rust-free sheet metal underneath, rust-free sheet metal all over the place. So much to mention, I can't even mention. It's got all the Highboy steering column parts. It's got so much stuff. All those parts, if I were to buy them, it'd be probably like 5,000 bucks. So if I didn't even buy this truck for 1,250 or 1,200, I would be losing, what is that, 3,800 bucks. So I basically made 3,800 bucks that day.
Not chick math.
No, this is redneck math. Like I can't physically count the money right now. Like I can't show you the money, but there's 3,800 bucks in pure profit right here. Just money I really can't take to the bank. But I mean, this axle alone, like I bought the whole truck just for this axle. This axle alone is probably $2,000. People are like, oh, axle not cheap. Yeah, go find another one. You want another disc brake, low pinion, heavy duty Dana 44 with the proper things? Right here. Redneck math. Still on the trailer. What else do you guys want to see? What else do you want to see? I mean, how long have we been going at this for? How long?
We've got to save some for the coming episodes because, you know.
Yeah, possibly so. This is the Dodge that our customer sent us that we're going to be pulling the Cummins out of and putting it in that 76. So that was the nice thing. He had the motor already that had just under 125,000 miles on it. So the proven platform that he's driven. We're going to go ahead, there's a fuel leak in it. And we're going to fix that fuel leak and we're going to drive this thing on the road a little bit too to make sure everything works. But pull the motor out of that and put in that thing. So that'll be fun to see. Yeah, that's not even my truck. We don't do Chevys. I don't know why that's even in here. It's my buddy who works at a body shop next door. He's doing some side work on it. First of all, it's a single cab. Like I said earlier, we don't even deal with those, but that's a Chevy. Chevy didn't start making crew cabs till mid-70s. Yeah, that's just not for me. But anyways, yeah, just to wrap it up. Yeah, so what I want to do is we're going to get a hold of the local raceway here. And my buddy Rob, who has a trash truck, has challenged me to a drag race. So I thought, let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to get a hold of the local quarter-mile strip here and see if we can't run this old red Dragon against his trash truck. So he keeps claiming all these things, you know, how fast it is, but I don't believe him. I think my 390 2-barrel can take it. So stay tuned for that because that'll be a fun episode. I don't know if we're going to be able to stream that one live. I think it'd be too difficult, but
We're going to do it live.
we're going to do that one live too.
Live.
Perfect. I don't know how you can do that with multiple camera angles, whatever. That's your department, not mine. But there's some cool stuff coming up. So stay tuned to our channel. If you guys are looking for a shop to build you a crew cab, we've got, as you saw, plenty of inventory. So get a hold of us. Send me an email through the website. And there's a little questionnaire on there. Fill that out to the best of your ability and send me an email. If you're looking for swag, we've got hats, we've got shirts, we've got all that stuff. Go to our website, go to our logo wear. The hats aren't actually on there yet, so we got to get a guy to do a guide thing and put it on the webs. It's not even my department. I like working with my hands, you know. So not an internet guy necessarily. But yeah, stay tuned, guys. It should be fun. Track along with us. Let's build some trucks.